Shalom, shalom. Aman jawab panjang kurang. Alright, Kahalaimla, Allahayanawa,
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahusha, Bahashim, Kodash.
Alright, once again, shalom, shalom. I want to give double honors across the elders of Great Millstone, which are our teachers. Alright. Alright. And shalom to the sincere brothers out there teaching truth with sincerity. Alright, the Hebrew Israelites, back out here once again, we prophesied the downfall of East's kingdom. And to bring remembrance of the church in Israel, which consists of so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, to bring them back to our power, which is Yahweh, to our Lord, Yahweh Shai, so Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh means He is. Alright, in the Paleo Hebrew tongue, is what this word ignorant calls God. Alright, Bahashim means in the name. Alright, in the Paleo Hebrew tongue. And Yahweh Shai means He saves or He delivers. In the Paleo Hebrew tongue, with this word ignorant calls Jesus Christ. Alright? And the Paleo Hebrew is the only language which you can call upon those names with. Alright? It's important. Alright? Because if you keep changing languages, it loses the power in those names. The same with all the other names in the book. Pursuant to Ecclesiastes, the first chapter. Or you can say the prologue to Ecclesiastes. The first verse. It becomes diluted, yeah. So you have to go back to the original tongue to say those names. You don't have to say all the other. You don't have to learn the entire language and read the entire book or relearn the entire book in that language. No, because we're not coming onto these people with a strange tongue. That's not the common tongue in this world. All right, English is the common tongue. All right, so we're coming out here prophesying with those names. Paleo Hebrew. Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is He is, once again, Bahashim means in the name. Yahweh Shai means He saves and He delivers. Alright, no one that the skin session is edifying unto you. Akim out there. Alright. Or exhorting into your true manifestation. We're just going to roll in the spirit, most likely various topics. There is a thing I've been meditating about. There is a thing I've been meditating about is that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, we should store upon His men. Yeah, we're just going to ultimately go in the spirit. If the topic moves from there, that's the spirit. Just like the brothers call it, spirit like the wind. You know, the wind can change in any direction at any moment. Alright, so we just start off the topic with it. So basically what I've been meditating on is that Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, He chose the meek, the meek and the lowly on this earth, alright, to do His work. The meek and the lowly on this earth to do His work. And that He enlightened our eyes to see things that many men, alright, many men even from now all the way back then have never saw, have never seen. Alright, even the men of old. Sorry, with the apostles and elders of old, referring to the 12 apostles with Yahweh Shai. You know, there's during that time they didn't understand the revelations yet. They didn't understand some of the seals that were not unlocked unto them just yet. All right, but Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai revealed it unto us at this time, at this moment. We are living in the end times. All right, so I want to get this in. I'm going to read a little bit of 1 Corinthians chapter 2. I might jump around for edification's sake. I'm just going to start at the. I mean, we always read this a lot, but we're going to read broken records out here. I might start at the beginning and see where the Spirit rolls from there. Alright, so this is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with the excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua. Alright? For I determined not to know anything among you, save Yahushua Mashiach, and him crucified. Well, let me actually speak on the verse 1 real quick. When we come out here, we don't have an excellency speech. All of us brothers in this too. There's only a certain amount of brothers that have a like a passive skill for teaching. And when they teach, it's like, oh my gosh, man, like you're a good ass teacher, right? And we brothers that don't have that skill, we don't have that kind of teaching ability, but we still have the spirit at the end of the day. So when we come out here and demonstrate to the spirit. All right, especially with the action of even coming out here. That's the ultimate demonstration. So we'll continue. And it says, "For I determined not to know anything among you, save Yahushua Mashiach, and him crucified." And that's a lot of things. A lot of men need to learn when coming into this ministry, or trying to learn something. When you come over here and you want to learn something, you gotta keep quiet, keep what you know, or anything like that. All right, to yourself until the opportunity arises and you have a question. Because there's a lot of men that lean on their own understanding, and they think they got it all, and they interrupt you in your conversation while you're doing camp or anything like that. And you quickly dismiss them because that was very rude, not wise of him. So you usually, throw him on his way. The reason I'm saying that is because what happened recently at the brothers from Boston, you got certain men like that. You got a young brother coming up. He had a zeal for Mosai, but not according to knowledge. Right, and he came up, and he was wise about it, because he didn't interrupt the brothers. He didn't interrupt them not once. But when he found an opportunity, the brothers answered him and asked him, does he have any questions, type of thing. And the brother was talking to them, discussing with the Akim. And it was been about like 15, 20 minutes. And some dude came out of nowhere and interrupted the conversation between them both. Damn. I hit that with my hand. No, I gotta put it. I'm not gonna put it. And that dude interrupted the conversation between them both. Alright? And there's actually a scripture like that in Apocrypha. I'm not sure exactly how it goes, but it goes something like that, interrupting men in their speech or in their conversation, something like that. Alright, and that's a way of a fool. And that's how that guy came about. And he interrupted him, trying to squeeze himself into the conversation. And the elder, which is a really good teacher, called him out on it. And he said, you don't even know what we're talking about. And the dude said, I do know what you're talking about, because you've been talking about it for a whole hour and I heard you. And he's like, the elder's like, we haven't even been talking to this guy for an hour. And the dude said, yeah, you have. And then he continued going like you were talking about this. No, he's like, what part have you heard in the conversation? And he said about this. And he said, what? We weren't even talking about that. Or we were talking about it or something like that for only a small amount of time. We weren't talking about the whole conversation like that. Or something like that. And basically the dude got called out ultimately, and he got dismissed. He told him, the brothers told him to go on his way. Dude is coming around, causing strife. But back to the point, a lot of men, they come about and they want to interrupt men in the conversations because they have something. Let's just say they have something to say, or they think they know something. You think you know something? Once again, keep yourself quiet until you find an opportunity. Raise your hand. One of the brothers will be like, 1 second, and they'll finish your sentence, and then they'll ask you. Because that's polite. That is wise. All right. So back to this.
Ecclesiastes 11 and 8. Answer not before thou hast heard the cause.
Answer not before thou hast heard the cause. When you know, yeah, you know, just continue.
Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk on their talk.
And that's a thing, a big thing in this world, man. Especially when we're doing camp out here, we always get people like that. Instead of waiting for us to stop our talking, you know, they either interrupt us or they just continue on their way because they lack patience. They don't raise their hand on nothing. I don't know what's up with these men out here. You know, they lack pride to raise their hand because they don't want to feel like an underling. They want to have that feeling that they know something too. And that what they know is relevant to what we know. If it's relevant, then wait for an opportunity, and we'll answer you, and then you can say what you know. A lot of men don't got that kind of humbleness. All right. A lot of men don't got humility.
A lot of times, one subject at a time, you know.
Well, one subject at a time.
You know, like, don't get all over the place. Like, for example, 1 minute you're asking what's 2 plus 2, the next minute you're asking why is that car red?
Or before they even answer the question, there's already a question on top of that. Like, wait a minute, let me answer the question that you say, and then I'll continue on to the next question. You gotta wait. You know? Damn. Alright, I'm gonna continue on. It says, and I was with you in weakness and in fear and in trembling. My speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of men's wisdom, but in a demonstration of spirit and of power, that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of Yahweh. That's a big thing, especially in this truth. When we talk about something, it's gonna speak more on that. Howbeit, we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor of the princes of this world that come to naught. And that's mainly what we come out here for, man. All right, all we come out here for. Though we say we're coming out here to wake up the elect, it's not our duty. You know, our job is not to wake up the elect. Our job is to come out here and get as many as we can to the marriage. We are out here to give tickets out, pretty much spiritual tickets. You know, get on the ark, the spiritual ark. Tickets for the spiritual ark. Reserve your place now, type of thing. You know. What's another good damn. I had it in my head, but I forgot.
You're preaching the gospel. But it's like giving out chocolates. And chocolate bar, you open it up. It's like, let's see who has that golden ticket.
Yeah,
and
yes, that's true. And there's only a select few. So we're not out here for everybody. We're not out here to quote wake up the elect, because ultimately it's Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai Bahashim Havakodash. Who's gonna wake up the elect? Right? Not of us. We're out here to plant seeds. We don't know if those plants are gonna grow, but we're gonna plant them anyways. You know, just as Yahweh said, if any man has ears to hear, let him hear. If any man has eyes to see, let him see. So continuing. But we speak the wisdom of Yahweh, the mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, ordained from the world unto our glory. And that's a big thing. So basically the main oh man, sure. Man, I wish we had like a pocket or something like a thing to sort of put it right here. I don't want to give you a call. Yeah, so basically the main thing what I was thinking about is that we men in this truth, we react to things that are that are very spiritual to us. And when it's seen by the people outside the world or anything like that, they see us as, why are they reacting that way? Or, yo, you're crazy or something. You know, like for example, when we brothers clap to something, to the destruction of somebody who asked for it, and we clap to it, like all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, which is all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Alright? And we give praises. People see that and they're like, they tilt their head, like, what is up with these men? You know, just as the scriptures say, they account our like madness. And we are even joyful when we're brought to a low estate. Though it's not, just as the scriptures say, though it's grievous, you know, but it's for a moment at the end of the day. Yeah, it's temporary. And the reason we even count the joy is because Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, he's working with us. Alright, he's working with us. Continuing, it says, let me read it again. It says, but we speak the wisdom of Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, in a mystery. Now, mystery is a big thing. That mystery is a big thing. It's a mystery to the world, but we're out here openly preaching it. We're openly preaching it. That's why when we're talking or anything like that, we're speaking mostly to the camera. It's we're speaking amongst them that are perfect. It's the ones that are perfect, the ones who tune in and understand what I'm saying. The mystery was given unto you to understand it, just as it was given unto me and unto the brothers here. It was given unto you as well, if you understand what I mean. All right. So we're out here as the ultimate demonstration towards Yahushua, because Yahushua, he did it all way before us, before all of us, and he's finished the work. All right. He did the same thing, openly preaching the mysteries, and the seeds were planted in our head, and the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven were revealed unto us, not by flesh and blood. If flesh and blood is the same thing as man's wisdom, but Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that revealed it unto us. Right? Yahweh, the Father of our Lord Yahushua Mashiach, revealed it unto us to understand this. This work that we got, this is the biggest work, the greatest work on the face of the earth. This is the same work as Yahushua has done. This is how we get to prove ourselves towards Yahushua. It's more than just, you know, doing your study and learning. You have to be doers of the word and not just hearers only. And that's more than just studying. Making what you know known. Making what you know, you gotta make it known. All right, be a demonstration as well. A demonstration is something that is open. All right, for public eyes to see. All right. Yeah.
Philippians chapter 2 verse 12. Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling.
Yeah, so we have to work it out. And that's a big thing in this truth. Once again, we gotta work out our own salvation. You want the kingdom? You always say it. If you're brothers to this truth, all right, or you know this truth and you want the kingdom, you work for it. Not everything in the world can. Yeah, you can go across. What?
What happened?
Be elaborate.
You don't see what it's up.
Man, I don't know.
There's always something happening.
Like I was saying, not everything in this world is given free. Actually, everything in this world is not given for free. You gotta work for it. It's the same thing with the kingdom of heaven. All right, that treasure, you gotta work for it. If you want to receive salvation, work for it. It says every man have to work out their own salvation with fear and trembling. All of us brothers of this truth, we are the same, but we're also looking out for each other, so we don't fall off. But if you so happen to neglect the hand that is reached out for you, you're gonna sink, because that hand is Yahweh Shai through those brothers. So if you're being rebuked or anything like that, and that hand is being reached out to you, and you neglect it through your own selfishness, through your own stupidity, because you lean on your own understanding, you don't receive salvation. Because the reason I'm saying that is because just as Yahweh Shah reached out his hand to pull up Peter from the water, he pulled him out of the water. And Yahweh Shah, he's pulling up any brother who's just so happen to fall, they trip, and they get in trouble by the brothers. Because we are a body of Yahweh Shah. We are a body. So if a finger's not working right, the body's gonna do everything it can to make sure that finger, that limb works again before chopping it off.
It's like if you sprain a thumb, right? You don't know this, but you somehow spiritually, like you do whatever you can, like you try to grab a mud, you try whatever you can not to sprain that thumb. Somehow instinctively, like you just, all your other fingers working more than that of your thumb, or when you limping, you know you got hurt, you limping. Somehow your other foot is doing most of the walking, most of the hopping.
Until it's healed.
Until this one is healed.
Yeah.
Your body works in that.
And that's why I said all your other limbs will do everything it can for that limb that is injured until it's healed. It'll do everything it can, unless if it just so happens to die, what's the point of having a dead limb on you? You gotta have it amputated. You gotta have it chopped off. Because there's no point in having it there. And it's the same thing. If you happen to fall out of the truth and all the other parts of the body of Yahweh Shah Mashiach is trying to help you, heal you, and you don't want to be healed, you're gonna be honed down. You're gonna be cut off like a branch off of Yahweh Shah. Think of it. Elder Makala made a video like that. You don't want to be that withered branch. If you fall off, you want to be taken up and grafted back again. Grafted is being put back on.
In the spiritual sense, because we in one body. If one part of the body gets cut off, that body's still going to grow. How? There's going to be a replacement.
There is, because especially when you, like for example, you go blind. The replacement is your ears get more of a senses to substitute for the eyes that just went out. You start to hear better and smell better. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. That man that didn't do anything with his talents will be taken away and given to another. So yeah, it looks like you've been holding it like that for the past 5 minutes. Here. Where? Which? Oh.
Oh shit. Alright, yeah, you can read it. Let's see. You can start at 1.
Just read that. You can read it now.
This is James 4, verse 1. From whence come wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lusts that war in your members?
Wait, what is it?
Can you break that down?
I don't. Can somebody get that in the NLT? James 4 and 1. Because that's hard to understand because the Old English. James 4 and 1.
James 4 and 1?
Yeah, NLT.
Okay, James chapter 4, verse 1 in NLT. It says, what is causing the quarrels and fights among you? Don't they come from the evil desires at war within you?
Doesn't that come from the evil desires at war within you? And that happens because a lot of these men, because once again, just as the KJV version says, the Old English, it's the lust, man. And the lust doesn't have to be sexual or anything like that. No, it's the lust towards anything. Lust towards pride, the lust towards freaking, ultimately pride, man. Because a lot of men, they don't have the humbleness, they don't have the meekness, especially ones that's been in here for years. It's a struggle to keep your humbleness. The more years you come in, and you just so happen to be rebuked by a brother who's younger than you or anything like that, your pride kicks in. Like, I've been in here for longer than you. Why are you telling me this and that? A lot of brothers, we all got to practice that. We really have to practice that. Because I'm not speaking just, for everybody, but I'm speaking just for myself also. And let me rephrase that. I'm not speaking just for everybody, but for myself also. We all have to practice that because it's not a battle you could just win. Pride is a bitch, man. And when you feel it, you go like, why am I talking like this? And you want to apologize, but your body's holding you back. Like, why? Because it's a battle between your spirit and the flesh. And if you're letting your flesh win, you're a fool. And there's a lot of men that fell out of this truth because they're letting the body do what it wants. Because you think you got it. You think you got it. And what makes no sense is that when men lean on their own understanding, and the scriptures talk about there's 144,000 men and a great multitude that will come from that men. Are you saying that a whole ministry is going to come out of you and believe what you say? That's unbelievable. Because you disagree with something, you want to go off and go teach on your own, teaching what you believe rather than what the ministry believes, and you think that the people are going to fall upon you, and the 144,000 and the one that Israel is going to come from you. You're a fool, man. You're a fool. All right? You got to turn from your ways. Stop losing your battle, man. Stop losing your battles. We have to be warriors in this thing. Stop dropping your sword. Pick up your sword, and that sword is the scriptures, man. And the brothers are helping you out, so you don't fall on your knees. Though we get attacked left and right by our flesh, we gotta stand firm. And you men that fell out of the truth, you lost your battle. If you don't get your ass back up, you're gonna be counted as a nameless knight. A knight with no name, with no honor, no respect. No, nothing's gonna come from him. Your works, your dangerous adventures in this truth, all of that won't be remembered. So why stop? Why would you lose your battle? I don't understand those men. And I don't want brothers that doesn't happen to me, or the brothers here, or the brothers of this truth, man. The ones that are sincere. Don't let your body win the battle. Fight against it. Because it constantly wants to do what it wants to do. We gotta fight against it. So all you men that when you get rebuked, you got an attitude towards the brother because he rebuked you. Don't you know that the brother's looking out for you? He's looking out for you. Because if you can't take orders from a lowly brother who's younger than you in the faith, how can you take orders? How can you take orders to someone that's higher than you, or someone's higher than him, all the way up to Yahushua? Because if the brother's sincere, and the brother's sincere, and he has wisdom in this truth, he's telling the older brother he's going off, or vice versa, or the older brother's telling the younger brother that he's going off, and the pride hits in. You know, you're like a man that's about to step in a bear trap, not listening to the warnings. You step right into it. And you go, help me, and you go like, I told you. Why you gotta be so dumb, man? And dumb, the word, no. Why you gotta be so retarded? Retarded means slow thinker. That you're slow. You know?
Verse 2, ye lust and have not, ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain.
Yeah, so read that in the NLT. Verse 2.
It says,
oh, he wasn't done, right? Alright, finish it.
Ye lust and have not, ye kill and desire to have, and cannot obtain.
And you desire to have it, you cannot obtain.
Ye fight and war, yet ye have not, because ye ask not.
Continue. And that's the same thing with I mean, I didn't want to mention it, but I'm going to mention it again. You know, these brothers, they're falling lower and lower and lower by the day if they don't turn back. And the former head of Mississippi camp and the other brother that fell with him. You fall because you ask not. You didn't ask for understanding. 14 years, man. You didn't ask. Why? That's why you fell. Baba Kushai, NOT.
This is the NLT for James 4:2. You want what you don't have, so you scheme and kill it to get it. And you kill to get it. You are jealous of what others have, but you can't get. So you fight and wage war to take it away from them. Yet you don't have what you want because you don't ask Yahweh for it.
You don't ask Yahweh for it. You know? Look, just as the brother, I'm gonna mention, I'm gonna quote another brother again. I forgot where exactly it was, but Yahweh. Oh, can you get that? Wisdom freely. I believe it goes like that. I think it was freely or liberally. One of them two. I'm not sure if it's in the Apocrypha. I thought you mentioned. No, right. Just stuff with it. And then wisdom, and then liberally. I think it has two L's. I'm not sure. James as well. This is James 1. No. Yeah, I just start at 5.
All right, this is James chapter 1, verse 5. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Jehovah Shai, that give it to all men liberally, and upbraid it not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that wavereth is like a wave of the sea, driven with the wind and tossed.
Yeah, because you're not gonna get your destination like that. You're not gonna get what you want. You ain't gonna receive. You ain't gonna, get at your destination like that. You know, when you lack something and you lack understanding of something, and you wanna break down to it or something. And you want understanding of it, pray to Yahweh Shai, because that's wise, that is wisdom. And a lot of men, you fall out of the truth and they start insulting the brother because the brother is rebuking him and trying to get him right. And that man that he's trying to get right is insulting the brother now because he thinks that brother, the reason that brother is rebuking is because the brother hates him. No! People got it upside down. A lot of you brothers that fell out of the truth, you got it upside down, man. The reason brothers even, call you names and stuff like that is so you can examine yourself. Am I really like that? And turn around and examine yourself. Be like, you know what? You know what? He's right. And work on it. So you can prove yourself that you aren't like that. Alright? Especially when the whole ministry is upon you. You know you're doing something wrong. Why do you keep going out of it? Why do you keep going the opposite direction where the right way is? And the brothers are trying to bring you back to the right way and you're like, no, it's this way, I know it. You don't know it. You're hallucinating. You're dreaming. It says the dreams of the dreams of a man are vain. It's like a man trying to catch a shadow. You think you see something. Nah, bro. You see nothing but a shadow. You trying to grab that shadow. Trying to grab the shadow. You think that's the way, the right way. But the shadow, but that's the shadow of the image being casted from over here. Alright? And the brother's just like, bro, it's right there. Where are you going? And you grabbing onto his shirt, trying to pull it back. He's like, bro, let go. And like, bro, it's right over. And you're like, no, I know it's over here. And you go like, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because just as the scriptures say, it's like letting a bird out of your hand. You don't know where that bird's gonna go now. You just see him flying back. If that bird's loyal to you, the bird's gonna come right back to you. But the bird is not loyal, wasn't loyal in the first place, that bird is gonna fly off. You don't know where that bird's gonna go next. You start thinking, damn. You start wondering what that bird's gonna do now. You know? And then you just, after that happens, you just forget about that bird even existed. And that's what makes you a nameless knight. Once upon a time, you were doing the work, and now you're not. So what kind of knight are you? If you're serving the Lord, and you're no longer serving Him because you dishonored yourself, you're a nameless knight. A dishonored knight. And you will never be remembered. Not your work, not your protection for that Lord or anything.
Ye ask and not receive. Look at verse 3. Ye ask and receive not, because ye ask amiss, that ye may consume it upon your lusts.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing. All these men, they want to be right. They want to be right. That's the thing, man. Every man wants to be right. You know? And every single man, women, or anything like that, all these people need to be right. You know? Even when they're wrong, they want to be right. And the most humble thing you should do, and you know you're not right, is to humble your damn self. If somebody's trying to prove to you that it's not right, all right, trying to prove to you with the scriptures that it's not right, and you're still trying to lean on your own understanding, you're a fool. All right. And you start bad talking and shit like that. You know, but the only time you know that you're right is that if you lead it up with the scriptures. You know? Because these words are from the Almighty and His Son Yahushua, from Yahweh, what Yahushua, Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, Yahweh the omniscient, the omnipotent. And that's how you can prove that you're right. Yahweh's the all-knowing power, the living power. And what you think is right leads upon what He thinks is right, then you're right. Definitely 110%. But if you think something is right and it doesn't go with how the Father sees is right, you are incorrect. You are adverse and you're seen as Satan. And Satan means an adversary. It's a title. And if you don't go the way of the Father, you're not going the way of Yahushua. You know? Because if you don't go the way of Yahushua, you're not going the way of the Father. You're not going the way of the Father, you're not going the way of Yahushua. And that's what makes them the same. But the point is that men fall out of this truth because they disagree with something, even though that something is not that important, whether you believe it or not, but you still fell out because you disagree, and that's it. You disagree, so you fell out, and you insult everyone who don't agree with you. That's unbelievably stupid. That is stupid. That is foolish. That's like forsaking Yahweh Bashim Yahushai because you dislike one of His ways. You know, it's dumb. Because for example, you don't like how the Most High kills. You don't like how the Most High kills. You don't like how the Most High does evil. So you ain't gonna follow Him because He does that. You are dumb. You're dumb. You want to be like that? You're dumb.
Especially they already know that the Most High flooded the earth in the first place.
Yeah.
You know.
And if you're of the truth, and you're sincere about it and everything, you're gonna understand why He even did it in the first place, and you're gonna understand why He's gonna do it again, and why we're living in this state, and all of this, and all of that. You know, you'll understand what if brothers try to rebuke you. You're gonna take it humbly, and examine yourself, and correct yourself, and pray on it. You know, that's what you're gonna do. All right, continue.
Verse 4, ye adulterers and adulteresses, know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with Yahweh? Whosoever...
It's adverse. No? It's adverse. If you fell out of the truth, where are you going to go? There's only two paths. There is only two paths. You either endure one or you either endure the other. Which path are you taking right now?
This is a wasteland compared to this truth.
Yes, but once again, the truth didn't come for you. So what makes you think that the 144,000 could come from you? Gonna come from you? What is it? How do I say it? Because you so happen to disagree with something of the main ministry, and it's not even something of relevance too. You know? And I'm speaking this in general. I'm not speaking just, just those two that fell out of the truth from Mississippi. I'm speaking it in general for everybody. There's only two paths to this truth. There's only two paths, either the truth or the world. You either endure one or you endure the other. Continue, Baba Kushak.
Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of Yahweh.
It's the enemy. And it's as simple as that. That's why it's a fearful thing to be in the hands of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. The moment you fall off, you're an enemy. The moment you fall off, you're an enemy. And that's why we brothers of the truth, we have to constantly examine ourselves. We don't want to be an enemy to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. We want to be seen right in his eyes. And in their eyes, to be exact. Because we're being examined by Yahweh Shai, to be proved by Yahweh Shai, to be seen spotless and blameless. So there's a huge work to this. It has this it's anxiousness. It's anxiousness whether you are of this truth or not. And that's why it says, examine yourself whether you be of the faith. Always examine yourselves. Always. Whether you think you're in a good spot or not, examine yourself anyways. You do not want to be on the bad side. And that's why it says, work out your own salvation with fear, key words. Fear and trembling. Why? Because if you're fearing and trembling, you're always going to be in the right spot. You're always going to keep yourself in the right spot. Because you're eagerly desiring the kingdom, eagerly desiring salvation, eagerly desiring acceptance through Yahweh Shai, to enter in onto that grace. We have that eagerness. And and it's a type of fear too. It's a type of fear. Uneasy, troubled in the mind, because that's what fear causes. Causing you to be troubled, uneasy. To torment, to cause distress, all of that. That's what makes this a battle. When a man goes out to battle, a warrior, that man is shaking on his sword. Doesn't matter how brave that man or anything of the sorts. To even be brave, you have to first fear. To even be courageous, you have to first fear. You have to have fear. Right? You have to have fear to even be courageous. And that's what makes us valiant. The fear keeps us in place.
But it's also, it trains your spirit too. Because I'll give you an example. I used to work in a warehouse. They trained me for cherry picking. I hate heights. So I had to go up. I had to go to like use the machine, lifting me up all the way up, because I had to get a washer, to export it. And that machine kept going like this, and now I just froze. But I kept doing that. I kept going up. As time passed by, the machine started shaking, whatever. When I'm up there, I got used to it. And it's sick. Yahweh Shai, you'll train your spirit. To be fearless.
Yeah, that's
you
why
need you need this word to because at the same time you got that fear, but you also got that discipline.
Yeah, so it's
You know?
especially when you first come out here, you got that fear. You got that. You got that fear, but you're anxious to do it.
And your spirit knows what's right.
Yeah, and every time and once you come out here more and more and more, it's gone. It's gone. And then when somebody comes up to you, a bug out, so yelling in your face, you got the fear again. Shit. Oh shit. How much? Like how's Yahweh should be struggling to get me out of this?
That's like that's
Ah
flesh.
shit. You know? Yeah, the flesh is weak. You know? But after you know, the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you basically rebuke that demon and he gets the hell out of here. Right? You feel better. The next time it happens, you're not as shaky. You're not as shaky towards if that happens again. You know? But ultimately, the greatest fear is the one you can't see. That's the greatest fear, the one you can't see. And that's our salvation. Whether are we going to get salvation or not. And that's what keeps us in place. That's what keeps us in place. Why? Because we want to receive salvation. That's what we're going to work for it. Because we want it so bad. We want it. We don't want to die like these people out here. All you people that walk past, you've been marked. You heard the voice of a prophet. All you that walk past, you're all dead. You don't turn from your wicked ways, your wicked deeds, and return unto Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and go back to the way you're supposed to be, being an Israelite, following the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your ability. You're gonna die if you don't turn from your ways.
That's right.
You know, as simple as that. And the fact that we even come out here, this is the demonstration. This is the demonstration of fear and trembling. Us doing this work. And you brothers out there as well. Bible shall continue, and then we're going to close up.
Verse 5. Do ye think that the scripture saith in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us lusteth to envy? But he giveth... One second. But he giveth more grace, wherefore he saith, Yahweh resisteth the proud, but giveth grace unto the humble.
Once again, there's a lot of men that are proud. That's a lot of things we brothers have to work on. Always keep yourself meek. Always keep yourself humble. Alright? If you're a brother and you got muscles, don't boast yourself with the muscles. Alright? You brothers got a lot of knowledge of the scriptures. Don't boast yourself in the knowledge of the scriptures. Alright? Don't boast yourself.
Yahweh is looking for humble men. He's not looking for no proud men. Pride don't even belong to men anyway.
Yeah.
You know?
That's one of the things the Most High hates the most. It's a proud man. Especially one that's of a poor estate. Now, all of us, whether you like it or not, doesn't matter how much money you got, you're in a poor state.
And it's pathetic, you know, because we seen there's a lot of homeless jakes out there, and they still they got no home, they got nothing.
You're
But it's
liking
still
onto them. If you're of the truth, you fall off, and you refuse the rebuke and refuse to examine yourself. You're liking onto those bug outs, poor bug outs.
But I'm saying, you know, a lot of them are homeless, and they still proud, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much a bug out, pretty much, you know.
Yeah,
You know, 'cause
poor proud bug out.
They even refuse. If you give them something like for them to eat, they don't even want it. They're too good. They're too good for that. You know, that's a destroyed spirit anyway. You know, so
Feel that instinct.
yeah. Well, you know,
Dog.
this is Proverbs 28 and 25.
Oh, not even. Is that a mosquito? I think it's a mosquito. It's reacting to a breath. Yo.
Still got more?
Yeah, I think so. Submit yourselves, therefore, to Yahweh, Resist.
Repeat that again.
Second. Ah, yes. Said, submit yourselves, therefore, to Yahweh. Resist the devil, and he will flee from you. Draw nigh to Yahweh, and he will draw nigh to you.
Yeah, and a lot of men they draw on to Satan, man. They draw onto you know, onto the devil, and the devil once again means deceiver. All right, and anybody who's adverse, the word Satan is the title once again, meaning adverse. If you're adverse unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, you know, you got spiritual shaitan messing with your head, and you'll listen to it like, really? No way, type of thing. You know, lending an ear. You don't want to lend an ear towards Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, which is through his men. And you, a lot of you men that fell out of the truth, you know that the mouthpiece of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua are through his prophets, are through his teachers, the ones he sent.
Draw nigh to Yahweh, and he will draw nigh to you. Cleanse your hands, ye sinners, and purify your hearts, ye double-minded. Be afflicted and mourn and weep. Let your laughter be turned to mourning, and your joy to heaviness.
Yeah, because that's the time we're living in. That's the time we're living in, and especially, basically, there it's talking about when you repent. It's sweet, and then it's bitter.
Humble yourselves in the sight of the Lord, and he shall lift you up. Speak not evil one of another, brethren. He that speaketh evil of his brother, and judgeth his brother, speaketh evil of the law, and judgeth the law. But if thou judge the law, thou art not a doer of the law, but a judge.
And that's bad.
That's a lot of jakes are like that, because they don't like certain part of the law. Now they want to judge that law for what? Because it's good for them, but they don't want to see it that way.
A manner of judging the law is the same as a man who doesn't want to turn from after being rebuked. It's the same as judging the brother, judging through the law. I mean, judging the law. Because the brother is doing according to the law, how the law says, suffer not sin upon your brother. And the brother's trying to turn him. But the brother is not turn around with a scornful look. And insult to the brother and everything like that. It's the same as insult to the law. And if he's doing that, then he's making himself as if he's a judge. And continue.
This is James 4:12. There is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgest another?
Who art thou that judges another? You know? Who art thou that judges another? It doesn't mean that like damn, what's a I had an example in my head, but it just slipped. You know, a lot of men they judge, and they're not aware to it. The men that fall out of the truth, and when they get rebuked, they try to turn around with insults to the brother who's rebuking them. Why? Those insults are judging. You're judging that brother. Why? That brother is looking out for your spirit, but you're insulting. Why?
That's the thing, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's because that man he's full of pride, and Satan is all up on it. He's got the devil all up on it. Right? Spiritual shaitan, all up in his head, and he's making it where his flesh is overwhelming his spirit more than his spirit can overwhelm the flesh. Oh, yeah. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the truth or not. You can fall up at any time if you don't examine yourself. You got something that's lacking? Pray! Oh shit. Pray on it. Pray on to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Alright? Pray. You lack something. No? Don't let it sit there. This is like stagnant water. It will just brew diseases. You gotta keep your river flowing, man. Your belly got clogged. Your belly, your living water got clogged. It's gotta be living water. It's gotta constantly be moving. No? Don't let it stop at a dam. See? Unless that was it on the relevance of it. You think it continues to continue? It's like secret swim, but yeah, I know, right? Like, it's those men that's the word, procrastinate. The men that procrastinate, this is them. You can read it, I can read it.
This is James 4, verse 13. Go to now, ye that say, today or tomorrow, we will go into such a city and continue there a year, and buy and sell and get gain.
Yeah, and they're not doing that today. It's the same thing with those men that they push it off. Like what I just said. For example, if you're lacking something, then pray. That's now. Don't push it off tomorrow or the next day after that. That is now.
That movie Rocky 3. When Rocky was feeling all like down and out because he was feeling bummed out, I guess because his trainer died. But he's been bummed out, and he was being trained by Apollo 3. And Apollo 3 like, come on, let's go. And he was like, tomorrow. He kept putting it off. And then one time the training day again. He said, let's go. So he's like tomorrow. Apollo 3 blew up our hand. There is no tomorrow. And that's the thing.
So
There
wise
is no
words.
tomorrow.
It's funny how certain men in this world can understand that. Like for example, the Amalekite was it Shia LaBeouf or something like that. He's like, yesterday you said tomorrow. He said, don't let your dreams be dreams. Make it come true. People laugh at that, but that is true. You dream of the kingdom, you want it to happen. Why are you putting it off? If you want it to happen, why are you putting it off? You're letting your flesh lounge. You know what happens to you when you're lounge? You get fat, lazy. And your body starts to break down from within.
It's like Jehovah said, a slothful man is like a dunghill.
It's like a dunghill.
You know what happens to a dunghill? They're just sitting there. The only thing you're gonna attract is flies. That's it. And the flies just wanna land on you.
It's the same thing with
your demons, bro. Your demons land on you the same way.
You got it. That's what. So that they ultimately, at the end of the day, this is where they got it from. Baba Kashar, continue. Continue.
Whereas ye know not that shall be on the morrow.
You don't know what's going to be tomorrow.
Exactly.
Tomorrow could be literally the day of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Since you were not on your watch, you wouldn't have known. Since you were not listening or anything from the brothers, you would not have known. Alright? That's why Yahushua said. Oh, actually, continue.
Whereas ye know not what shall be on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanishes away.
You don't, because you could be put to death because you're being stagnant. Because you're stopping. Why? Why are you stopping?
That's why anything is not guaranteed.
It's these people are like frogs in a boiling pan. Oh, it feels good. Let's get it too hot. I don't know what it's about you. You know, just sit in it, and then you realize, oh shit, it's too hot. He's like trying to get out, can't get out. It's dead. It's gonna die. It's too late now. You know? That's just like you people, man. Ay. Just do it now. Don't wait. You know, of course it's not something you could just do just like right off the bat. But if you truly fear Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, work on it.
Don't argue about it either.
Don't argue about it, yeah. Don't make excuses. That's procrastinating. Making excuses, trying to let me wait until this is done. Hours. Those hours turn into days. Those days turn into weeks. Those weeks turn into months.
It's
Those
already
months
bad.
turn into years.
If it turns to weeks, it's already bad.
It's already bad, yeah.
You know?
No, if it turns into days, it's already bad.
You know,
If you made a decision and you put it off for an hour, you better do it in an hour.
you know, put it like this: you're into this truth. Something you put up for like now becomes days. You should feel terrible already.
Hey,
that.
shit.
You know?
You don't want to put it off. You want to just do it. You know?
Same thing
But-
with the videos too.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't watch the videos like one day, like the whole day, you're gonna feel like you get the sense like something's missing in my life.
Yeah,
You
right?
know?
Like shit. Like you start worrying about your life.
Like, yeah, you start thinking that, you start looking into yourself like, oh snap, hold on. Hope the spirit is not taking off of me. You know,
Yeah, you got that
gotta-
fear.
You gotta watch,
You got that fear, and that's a gift. That is a
You know?
gift. You got that feeling? I feel that every day, man.
The same thing happens to me.
I feel that every day. You know, because I wake up the next day and that's why I go directly to videos. I'll go directly. I want to see Apostle Rema went live because that's like the first video I watch a day. Because I see that he he makes live streams every single day. You know, usually early in the morning. So if I so happen to miss it because I woke up late, you know, I can watch it even though he's not live streaming anymore. You know, but every single day I don't want the spirit to be taken away. So that's what I do. Every single day.
It's like I say, religiously, it's pretty much a routine.
Yeah, it's a routine.
It's a form of discipline.
It's a discipline.
That's the spirit. That's what I'm about to say.
And discipline is wisdom.
Right. And now when they say you want to rebuke your brother, next of kin, you know, who's in the truth with you, and you remind them, hey, did you see this video? Oh, no. Oh, have you watched video? Even that, you know, and the person argue with you.
Well, they
How
put it
about it?
up.
Oh, he put it up, or this is excuse as to why he didn't see it, or whatever. You know, and it becomes a back and forth. It shouldn't even become a back and forth.
Yeah.
It shouldn't even become a back and forth.
So
Because
when videos are recommended or anything like that, you know, finish whatever video you're watching and then just like watch that if you want to. If you don't got anything else to watch.
right. And you know, considering it's better than that back and forth. At least acknowledge, hey, well, I'm gonna watch it. You know, at the end of the day, we don't have to know whether you watch the video or not. Now it's between you and Yahweh Shah, because he's gonna know whether you watch that video or you open the scriptures or you studying something on your leisure time. He's gonna know, because you don't have to tell us whether you watch it or not. He's gonna know.
Yeah, and
They're taking a report
yeah.
up there.
Here's the thing: we don't approve of ourselves.
Right.
In this truth, you cannot just say that you're going to get to the kingdom. Even if you want the kingdom or anything like that, you cannot say that you're going to get into that kingdom. As in receive salvation from on this side. You know? You can't guarantee that. Who makes that decision is Yahweh Shah, because Yahweh gave unto Yahweh Shah the ability to judge on earth. So Yahweh Shah determines if you're worthy or not worthy. So, if that's the case, and you're not the approver of your own self, then what you should be doing is trying to prove yourself towards the judge, the true judge. You know, that's what you should be doing,
Right.
and that should give you anxiousness, and give unto you more fear, because you eagerly want the kingdom. You want it. Like, oh man, I can't wait till the kingdom. And then you start thinking like, I hope I'm doing what I hope I'm doing enough. I hope I get accepted by Yahweh. That kind of mindset will keep you in the right order. That kind of mindset, because you're constantly thinking, am I doing enough? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you do, you always think, are you doing enough? Because there's never enough. But there is enough to your ability. But you don't even know your ability. You don't know the limits of your ability. So you keep trying to do enough. You just keep trying. And that's what's looked at by Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai is looking out at your desire towards the kingdom. Your earnest desire. That's what Yahweh Shai is looking at. Not, man, I can't wait to the kingdom. But you're not eagerly desiring it. You see, if you're earnestly desiring it, it's the same word as eagerly. You're eagerly desiring it. You know? It's the same word. So yeah, you just finish up on that.
For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and then vanishes away. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or that.
You ought to say that. That's why a lot of brothers, that's why all of the brothers in this truth, we say Adonai Ratazah. That's the ancient Hebrew saying for Lord willing. Adonai Ratazah. Adonai means Lord, Ratazah means willing. So Adonai Ratazah, that we can do this. Or when you leave the house, so you can say it in your head. You don't have to say it out loud. Adonai Ratazah, that He brings you back safely. Because you don't know if you're gonna go out there and get hit by a car. Because you get hit by, you get in danger at a certain moment. That's a warning to you. Because the only reason you're in that moment is because you're doing something wrong.
It's like
Either
it's
that,
like you keep doing something wrong.
either that, or He's trying to increase your faith. So you have to both ways. The only way you're gonna know that He's trying to increase your faith if you're doing what you can do, that is right. But if you know that you're doing something wrong, and you're postponing it, saying, "Oh, I'm gonna put it off tomorrow," and that happens to you, that's a warning.
It's like you got chores that you gotta do, right? You know, and you've been slacking off, you've been putting it off, or whatever. You're not doing what you're supposed to do. But your father comes like,
Wait.
hey, you do that. You don't do that. See this? You better do it.
You know the best. You know the best warning is.
You know?
You know what the best warning is?
No.
No, that's just the belt. I'm gonna say. I don't know if the other boys agree with me. When you hear the keys or the lock, that's the warning. That's the warning. All you hear is, and you go, you do it, and then when you know you did it, you're like. But if you didn't do it, you go. And if he comes in and he sees you doing it, even though he told you a long time ago to do it, and it should be done by the time you come back, and he sees you doing it, you're still gonna get your ass whooping as if you didn't do it. Because you should have done it. You should have done it. Like to me that's the greatest warning. And right now, that's what's happening right now. So, for example, if you're put in that dangerous situation and you know you didn't do anything right, that's the lock. That's the lock.
I ain't gonna lie, it's the same thing. You know, it's the same thing. When I was growing up, and I was supposed to do certain chores, like I had to take the trash out, whatever. You know. I remember if I didn't do it, I remember like it was already like about 5 o'clock. I was already, like you say, fooling around. You know how kids is. Sometimes they forget. They start doing whatever.
Because they didn't put it. They put it off.
Here comes 5 or 6 o'clock. And the minute I hear the keys, I heard the keys too. The keys.
Yeah,
And then I hear the door. And I'm like, I go, because I didn't have a watch, so I had to run to the living room and look at the time. I'm supposed to do that. And here comes my dad. That was it. That was it. You know?
Yeah, you don't want to be caught. You don't want to be caught off guard.
But it's the same thing with this truth.
Yeah, that's what it says. You don't want to. You don't want to. You want to be. You want to be doing the thing even in his absence. Even in his absence. You know
That same routine.
You know, it's funny. People call me schizophrenic. They had their voice here and
They see the signs of the heavens. They
Yeah.
know it's
Oh,
coming.
that's so true. Damn, that's so true. Oh, ye hypocrites! You can discern the face of the
Let's
sky.
get it,
but you can't
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it
The
quick.
size of the times? Ah, shit.
You know?
Even if they discern the face of the sky, they still come out here. What the hell is that shit? Oh, you say he's 2 verses.
Got it?
He has 2 more verses left.
This is James 4:16. That's okay. For that ye ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live, and do this or that. But now ye rejoice in your boasting. All such rejoicing is evil.
Exactly.
There,
What is this? Because there's a lot of men. There's a lot of men who think they have the truth because they live because they live another day. But they know inwardly that there's something wrong. Something wrong deep down in their spirit, and it's whirling inside of them. Whirling. But since they live another day, they think they still got it. But they don't. It says the joy of the wicked is but for a moment. The triumphing of the wicked is but for a moment. Is that it?
no, that's not it. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is a sin.
Say that
Or
again.
it is sin.
Read that again.
Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good
Therefore,
and doeth
to
it
him
not,
that knoweth to do good,
and doeth it not,
and doeth it not,
to him it is sin.
it is sin. To him that doeth good, and he does not, to him it is sin. That's why, especially of the brothers of this truth, especially to the brothers who have the ministry, who have the office of a teacher, and making videos daily, in that day that you miss the video, you feel your gut go down. And you want to do a video so bad. That's the burning in your heart. I mean, that's the burning in your bones. That's the burning that Joseph felt. Not Joseph, Jeremiah.
It goes beyond it. It hurts your soul.
Especially when you miss camp day. You go home, and you know, you don't want to miss it. You always want to be on time. You know, and that's that feeling. To us, it feels like a sin, and that right there means our death. That's what keeps us moving. That's what keeps us moving. It says, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. This is how we persuade men out here. It doesn't matter if you like it or not. If you don't turn from your ways, you are going to die by intercontinental ballistic missiles, nuclear bombs.
It's close.
All right, and it's growing closer and closer. Growing closer and closer.
And yo don't get the hint. You know, I know it's going to go a little bit off topic, but it's still the same topic. People's not getting a hint. I mean, in this kingdom already announcing nuclear safety, radiation
Let's
safety.
say it.
you know, they know what's coming. And these are last minute shoppers, pretty much.
That's finished on this. Get into the stuff before it's too late. Man.
Y'all gonna get your Black Friday.
No, that's it.
Alright, this is Matthew 16 and 2. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, you say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning, it will be fall weather. Today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but can you not discern the signs of the times?
Dead straight. Dead straight.
And you know what? And generally, that's the whole mindset of our people anyways now.
Uh-huh.
They know it's easy to read the weather, man. It's too easy now. Especially when you got the weather forecast on TV, which is kind of off anyways now. Now they don't.
It's just the fact that people still walk out here without umbrellas and stuff like that, knowing that it looks nasty outside.
They know where they are. It's a lot of stress.
You know, that's it. Oh no, you can read that, man.
This is from the topic earlier that we were still discussing about. It's Proverbs 28 and 25. He that is of a proud heart stir up strife, but he that putteth his trust in Yahweh shall be made fat. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool, but whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered.
That's it. You just leave it off on the oath. And that. You got a scripture.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 1. But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with a child, and they shall not escape.
Exactly. They shall not escape. And that's why we'd rather be on the good side of Yahweh when that day comes. That's why we'd rather mourn now and laugh later than laugh now and mourn later.
That's why
the
the times right now, all these prophecies coming to pass, take it as cloudy, very cloudy now. Take it as very cloudy because the storm is really close.
The storm is brewing.
The storm is right on our doorstep.
All right, first close up. Omacho wa kanya hakura. Kahalayla alahayanawa Yahweh Bashim Yahushua Bashim Kakudash. All right, I want to once again give double honors to Apostle Elder Degree Millstone and Shalom to the sincere brothers out there teaching the truth with sincerity. The one that this Ken session was edifying unto you brothers out there and or exhorting unto you brothers. All right. Keep pushing, man. Just keep pushing. All right? Don't not drop your swords. It's far too late to drop our swords now. All right? Don't be a fool. Be a warrior unto the end, because that's what Yahweh Shemiel is looking for. All right? So I'm going to leave it up with Shema prayer. So, Shema Yasharallah, Yahweh Alahayanawa, Yahweh Achad,
Adbar!